What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Seat Time. Brian Pierce here. We've got to do another interview. There was a lot of things that have gone on in the moto industry in the past couple of days, months, weeks, all that stuff. We've had some off-road news. We've had some motocross news. Big stuff, motocross news, is the Monster Energy Cup that just happened this past weekend. As well, we have our Texas boy fan, Kyle Cunningham. We're going to interview him and figure out a little bit more about him, his life in Texas, his experiences at the Monster Energy Cup, and as well maybe what's going on for 2013 and hear a little bit more about his 2012 year. So, if we were to ask you how your evening was going tonight, Kyle, what would you tell us?
It's going good. I actually just sat in about an hour and 45 minutes of traffic on the way home from the gym. Just started a new program with my trainer and Josh Grant, and do a lot of my training with JG, and we work together, kind of push each other. And man, I'm pretty pumped to have him on a Yamaha this year, so we'll be able to ride some laps together as well. So just did that and finished up with dinner, and just out here in California right now because we had the Monster Cup last weekend, and just kind of waiting to get into testing.
Yeah. Okay. That's actually pretty interesting. So is Josh Grant actually your trainer, or are you just kind of training with him as a training partner?
No, I'm more of a training partner. Both of us train with our trainer, Mark Isler, and he does a really good job. I got introduced to him from actually Josh's dad before 2011 started, end of 2010, after I got hurt at X Games, and kind of built a relationship with him, and JG ended up starting training with us, and it's been really good. We do a lot of stuff on the clock and pushing each other to go faster, and the whole program always changes. It's a little bit of something, and I look at it in the sense of like being out at the practice track or the races. You have somebody that you're doing laps with, and it's the same way in the gym. We push each other, and it's all by times and trying to work each other harder to kind of push us to the limit. So it works out really well, and like I said as well, Mark trains us, and man, he's like a drill sergeant. He keeps us pushing and keeps us working hard, and it's a really solid program, I feel, from 2011 to now. I know that this year doesn't really show from the injuries I had from the get-go to the last two rounds. It's like I talked to Bobby and finally had a chance to be healthy, and I came back for the last two just to get some seat time and get ready for Monster Cup. I didn't want to come out cold turkey riding a 450, and we felt pretty good. Just the injuries this year kind of held me back a little bit, and just looking forward to next year.
Yeah. Okay, I have to ask this because for the longest time, Ashley, who is now Ashley Grant, was like my favorite Monster girl. So in real life, is she as hot as she looks as she was in the on magazine and on TV and stuff like that? It's okay. I won't tell Josh what you said.
No, Ashley's a really nice girl. I got to hang out with her and JG and Havasu about 4 weekends ago and spend some time with them. And man, they had a kid not too long ago, Wyatt, and he's really funny, and we had a good time hanging out. They're really good people. I've known JG since I was about 14 years old, and he came out to Village Creek with me.
Wow.
And broke his wrist and got hurt pretty bad right before the Texas Nationals. So I've been friends with him for a long time, so that's what's cool as well about training with him. It kind of ended up that way, and it worked out perfect just because of the relationship that we have with each other. And he's got a good family. His dad's a good guy, Mike Grant, and he's good friends with my pops, and he's been like family for a long time, so it's really good.
That's awesome. No, he seems like a really cool dude, and they seem to blow it up in a fairly positive light, obviously, when they got married, they had their son and all that stuff. So it's kind of interesting that his son's already been in the limelight, been on TV. I think definitely more than me. I've never been on TV, but that's okay. So the Monster Energy Cup this weekend, tons of I don't really know, new stuff, different stuff, things that we saw last year in the Monster Energy Cup. So if I were to say right now, the biggest highlight on the weekend for you, maybe not racing aspect wise, but just like with that race they're trying to put on, they're trying to bring in something different at the end of the year, leading up to the new season. What something that really stands in your mind from the weekend that you think they're doing correctly?
I mean, I raced it last year, so I got hurt the last lap of practice. The track was really fun. It brought some different things, and this year I think Ricky did a great job with the track. I mean, to have a split start and do something different with it, and the track's fast in sections, but man, the rhythms were pretty big, and I thought they did a great job, and bringing the amateur all stars in, and the super mini class was
Yeah,
cool
that was
because
really neat to see those guys tearing ass around on those 250Fs and stuff, man. That was crazy.
yeah, I got to ride U.S. Open on 80s, so it's cool that they got the Monster Energy Cup, and that they're bringing back the limelight to some of our amateur guys, and being able for them to kind of be in the scene. Like I was pitted at the Yamaha rig and had 380 guys, and Cooper and Alex, my teammates. So it was really cool that they get to experience that point of something to look forward to, but as well as the track all around, I think was a good track as far as for the super minis. They could do some cool stuff, and then there were some big lines for us as well. And I thought the racing was really good, and I think there was a few more people this year than last year in the Cup class, and I think the track layouts they're doing bring something different, and the racing was pretty close, and the Joker line was something new, so it was kind of from an all around standpoint, good for the fans and good for our sport.
Yeah, I think you touched on a really good point in the fact that the Joker lane and the split start. I mean, they had the Talladega turn, as they're calling it. So they really kind of tried to bring in a lot of new, different aspects, maybe as a test run, see how the fans like it, see how the racers liked it, if it works, if it doesn't work. Because once you get into the series, you got 16 races going at it. I think people would feel, I don't know, much more offended. They'd be much more upset if something really got in the way of the racing action that went on, opposed to something like this where people want to see if Ryan Villapoto could do 3 mains again in a row, but if something crazy happened and the racing got crazy because of it, it maybe isn't the end of the world going on. But so it looked like on the night you did fairly well. You came away 6th overall. You went 8th, 7th, and 6th between the 3 mains. You said you were hanging out with Cooper and Alex Rodriguez there at the pits. So you did really well. Was there anything throughout the night that you were able to tell them of your experience as things were going on, or were you just kind of hanging out, or how did that work? How was the team, the team dialogue back and forth with you guys in the pits?
For me, I've been around the team. I was with them in 2011 and this year as well. So I've had a relationship with Brad and Bobby Reagan, the team owner, and I was kind of out of the side of the Yamaha rig. They had a lot of amateur guys there and stuff like that. But, the Monster Energy Cup race for me was a little bit of a last-minute thing coming around.
Yeah, you said you started riding just right before it, right, to kind of...
Yeah, I mean, I raced the last 2 of the outdoors, right, and it's kind of up in the air, and I got a couple weeks on the 450 and felt comfortable. I rode it good in the past, and, I've never really raced one in amateurs or anything like that. So, I got on it, and we just kind of played it by ear and did a little bit of testing to see if I felt comfortable enough. And, believe it or not, the day started out really bumpy. It was, I think it was like 16th in practice. Track was really muddy in practice, and I hadn't ridden a 450 on anything like it, and was kind of a little bit uncomfortable at first, and then as well as last year crashing in practice and not even getting to race. Me and my dad talked a little bit, and we're like, let's just get it in the main, have fun with it, not high expectations, and the track was good for the night program, and I felt like I came out swinging. I don't think I started out of the gate inside the top 16 or 15 any moto, and we put on some charges and passed some really good guys, and just kept my head down, and I hadn't even done any motos the week before really. I did a couple 10s, and was just kind of trying to get used to the bike and worry more about just feeling comfortable and not ending up putting it on the ground, because the 450 definitely can chase you down when
yeah, there's a good bit of power there.
Yeah, no, we had a fun time. It was more of a relaxed environment, and the expectations for me, I just looked at it as the same way in 2010 when I got 4th there. I just came out, I rode, just did my job, and it's good to see it pay off. Like I said, I felt good obviously in all the motos for 10 laps. That wasn't an issue. And, from practice to that, I had a long talk with Ryan Morris. He's our new team manager, and really helpful having him around because, after practice, I was like sitting there going, man, I'm riding about 50% of what I do at the test track. And we probably sat and talked for 45 minutes. And, I just kind of, I guess, found my way out of that slump and went out in the motos and started feeling really good. And, that's an important thing to me, having him around since, the outdoors. I got to work with him at the last two because he was brought in a little bit late.
Right.
And, the first year I rode pro, I rode with him at Yamaha at Troy. So I've had a relationship with Mo for a long time, and he's a really good guy. And I think that's what makes the program solid, is to have good people around you. And, me and Cooper talked a little bit after practice, and we're talking about lines and stuff like that. And he's going to come up and race the outdoors with us this coming year, which is really good for him. He's going to get a few more amateur races under his belt, and then come out with me and Jeremy in the outdoors. But I think what they're doing with the team is going to work out really well. And like I said, we have a lot of experience with Mo. He's been a successful racer for the last 10 years of his professional career. And to be able to get advice from him and have someone like that as far as testing and stuff like that goes was a big help. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think we had a good weekend to go 8-7-6. I mean, it's funny how the night started and then, where it went to. We did a little bit better every moto and stayed consistent and ended up 6th overall. And, like I said, I went in with no expectations. So to come out with a 6 behind some of the guys that were in front of me was really awesome.
Yeah. This is by no means, a dig at anybody, but it sounds like a lot of people say that. They didn't have high expectations. They didn't have expectations going into this race. With a thought process like that, and you see a lot of people switching teams before this race, when technically it's not at the end of the year, but it's already the end of the contract year. So there's a lot of weird dynamics that kind of seem to come out because of this race. So is this a race that you think we're going to see stay? And if we do we think that it's going to work its way into, the longer contract year, or is it always going to kind of be that unofficial next year start? I mean, what do you think on that?
I think it's good for us because it gives us some more seat time to get on the gate. And, it's a little bit easier when you're with the same team and stuff like that. But for me, it was almost, I hadn't ridden a 450 in a year.
Right.
So on it was kind of, had to get comfortable and stuff like that. So it doesn't give you much time, and it's kind of thrown in at the end of the year. But, man, most of the guys after the outdoors, are pretty comfortable to go out and race when you've been doing it for multiple years and stuff like that. So I think it's something that'll stick around. They've done a good job with it. And, I think RC designing the tracks and all of that, he does a really good job. And that's cool. It brings us out there and, it gives us another race to go out and put on for the fans. And it's worth the time. It's cool to go out, and Vegas is always one of the biggest races of the year. That's the cool thing about it. So we had a fun time. I mean, I think the biggest thing for me when I say no expectations was, just not having a lot of time on the bike and, just trying to get comfortable and go out and have some fun and have a fun race that, it's not part of the series, and obviously you want to do good, but, just to go out and get some seat time and, be out there with the team and be out there for the fans was really cool.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I loved watching all the racing. I'm glad that it's there. I by no means... I'm one of the people that I kind of hope it keeps evolving. I kind of hope they keep, maybe not completely changing the format, but adding new things. I do think it's a great testing ground for maybe trying things that, everybody keeps talking about Supercross sometimes getting stale. It feels like it's the same races, little things like that. But this is a great testing ground to maybe try some new things, kind of see how, things are going to work, see if the fans like them, see if the racers like them, and keep going. So I'm all for it. So Vegas, great time. You guys get to go there twice now because of when the Supercross ends, and now because of the Monster Energy Cup. So after Supercross which was the bigger after party? Was it Supercross or was it Monster Energy Cup?
Probably Supercross. I think you get more of a lot of the guys out there, but it's always fun to go there and race. Like I said, I mean, it's one of the races that brings a lot of fans, and it fills the stadium up pretty much, and that's pretty cool for us. You know, the championship comes down to there normally, and so I would say, you know, Sam Boyd for the Supercross is a little bigger, but also with the Monster Energy Cup, you know, it's only the second year of it. So I'm looking for them to make it grow and get bigger. And, you know, obviously as long as we're healthy, I'd like to be back there next year. It's, you know, it's a cool race, and it brings something new, like you said. It just kind of makes you wonder, the Joker lane, the split start, you know, what'll Ricky come up with next? So I'm looking forward to it.
I think we're gonna have to like see if there's a way that they could get you off the bike, maybe do a little bit of a dog paddle through a pool. So no, so I guess like the one thing is, you know, there's deals like, say, like the Enduro Cross series. You know, that would not work in the Supercross format, but I like the fact that they have all these little niche series that they could kind of take from to bring in these new fun ideas. Like the Joker Lane, I think was interesting. It brought some different dynamics. Same thing with the split start. Talladega was fun, except for the fact that the leader almost got his head burned off. But, you know, I mean, that's just kind of part of it. You're leading. You don't know what's going to happen, right? I don't know. But so we have to say thank you to one of our sponsors really quick. That's just kind of the way this stuff works. They're a great supporter of Seat Time. So Fly Racing, flyracing.com is where you can find them. We would appreciate it if you would show our supporters your support. Go check out their website, please. Maybe go check out some of their stuff at one of your local shops. You could consider purchasing it. I would love it if you did. But if nothing else, we'd like to make sure that everybody's aware that there's great products out there. Everybody's got good stuff. Fly Racing is definitely one of them. We love having them as a supporter, and we thank them very much. So, Kyle Cunningham, we're going to keep going. You're in California right now. You're a Texas boy. You grew up doing some of the amateur nationals. You've been to Loretta Lynn's. Never were able to win a absolute, you know, title championship there. Won a bunch of motos. You've been professional since 2007. It's keeping going. You're doing great. You're healthy. You're riding. You got 2013. What's the goal now? Like, you were riding great, 6th overall this weekend. So, you know, coming out, I think there should be some expectations. You know, so what are those for you? Coming into the 2013 year.
Yeah, I mean, we had a really good year in 2011, and I wanted to carry that momentum into this year. This year was bumpy. I had high expectations, and, you know, I didn't stay healthy. I went to the first round, and if you go back and watch the Dallas heat race, man, I came out swinging in the heat. I felt good. Bike felt good. I was comfortable, and, you know, I think it all came down to, I was supposed to ride West Coast, got hurt 2 weeks before I crashed in the whoops. My hand came off the bar and somehow took a foot peg to my knee under my knee brace and set me back a little bit. So I sat around, waited for the East Coast, and like I said, came out swinging in the heat and then went down in the first corner. Unfortunately, I hit Baggett with my front brake levered right in his back and went over the bars, and man, I got a little x-ray on my wrist and didn't think anything of it and tried to ride through the pain, and it was really kind of a downer. I couldn't train the way I was. I couldn't do laps at the track. I was riding 10 minutes one day a week. Finally went and got an MRI and found out that the center bone in my wrist, the capitate, was fractured in the middle.
It's called a capitate?
Yeah, I think so.
Called a capitate, huh? So you get capitated and you break your capitate.
Yeah, so I fractured that down the middle, and you know, Jeff from All Sport Dynamics really helped me out. He stepped up, gave me some wrist braces to wear while I was hurt, and I kept racing and ended up going down at Indy. Hand came off the bar in the whoops, went to sleep for 2.5 minutes. I think I made history because I caused the first red flag staggered start. So that was kind of cool. But
I guess there's always that. But yeah, it's unfortunately not the way that you would prefer to be written down in any kind of a history book, I can imagine.
Yeah, no, it was just, it seemed like one thing after another. And, you know, we tried to ride through it, which probably wasn't the best decision. I probably should have set out and taken the time off like I needed. And, you know, I was still getting mediocre results, running around 6th, 7th, 8th place, riding at 65, 70%. And, you know, everything started to get a little better after Vegas. I was getting ready for the outdoors, finally could lift weights. My wrist wasn't hurt anymore. It felt a lot better. And at Hangtown was putting in a decent charge the first moto from the back and caught my ankle in a rut and twisted my ankle around. Felt like almost backwards. I felt a pop, and man, we were just hoping to make it through 5 rounds until the break, and I went in, got an MRI after Budds Creek. I went off Henry's Hill at Budds Creek, and foot grabbed a rut, and I landed all the way at the bottom of the thing in the braking bumps, and couldn't put my foot down again, and that was pretty much all she wrote. And went in, got checked out, and I guess I did it right this time. They told me I tore 2 ligaments in my ankle that hold your tib and your fib, the one in the front and the one in the back. And they said every time my foot would twist, the pop I would feel was my tib and my fib separating and then popping back into place down by my ankle.
Serious business.
Yeah, so I went back, saw my doctor in Texas, and, man, he told me what I needed to do. I didn't want to sit out. I didn't want to believe it. Obviously, I'm a racer, and I want to be out there racing. And I finally had to take a step back and look at my season and say that, it is what it is.
Yeah,
the season.
It was an off year. I mean, it was just a bad year in general. But the good thing is you're healthy and you're ready to, the way you rode, you're definitely ready to move forward. You're ready to move forward from this year, right? I mean,
yeah, I just, I had to look at it and just take a step back. And he told me, could be 8 weeks, could be 3 months. So I did exactly what he told me, and I spent about 7 weeks on crutches and got off of those. He released me to ride, and I felt okay. And I came back for the last 2 rounds of the outdoors. Like I said, no expectations. Just wanted to get back out a couple races and, see what I could do after being on the couch for 9 weeks. And it wasn't bad. It was a little bit of a motivator because I felt like all year, the moment I would start to fatigue a little bit, I couldn't push through it. Whatever was hurting, if it was my wrist or my ankle, my body would basically shut down. And I found out that when I'm healthy, no matter if I'm a little out of shape or not, I can push through it. And that's what I did, and that kind of, we've been doing a lot of weight training and stuff like that before Vegas, and kind of getting into more of our off-season schedule, which Vegas, we had to change it up for that week and got back into the cardio and stuff like that. And, I've been feeling a lot better, more back to myself, trying to get back 100% healthy and work on things more. And, I think that's the biggest thing that I should have realized when I did my wrist was, being professional for 6 years. When you get hurt like that, if you can't play at 100%, don't play at all,
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. So, I learned a lot this year, and we came out at the Monster Cup on a 450. Like I said, I haven't ridden one in a while, and put in 3 solid motos even after a bad day of practice. So, to be healthy and feel like I can push again, I think that's something we're going to build off of. And I have a lot of testing to go into. I think we're going to start it next week, getting back on the lights bike, but, going to test with the KYB air fork a little bit and stuff like that, and try and figure the bike out as good as we can. The good thing about being with the same team is, they know a lot of things I already like, so it's a lot easier for us to find better things to build off of. So I'm really looking forward to it. We have a good backing, and Brad does a really great job with the motors, and Bobby's a great team owner, and now to have Mo in there helping me as far as trying, I think the good thing about Mo is when you're missing something a little bit and you maybe aren't too sure, he can kind of help you with that. And he's actually been doing some testing for us with the air fork and with some motor components and stuff like that. So it's going to be good to have him around to be able to kind of point us in the right direction and get the ball rolling on the right foot,
Yeah, for sure. So have you not done any testing yet on what will be your team bike for next year? On your 250?
No. Yeah, I haven't ridden the 250F since the last round of the outdoors. Just been kind of playing on the 450. I'm hoping to keep a 450 around just to play right on it.
To let you keep it in the garage for fun?
Yeah, I think that's what helped me in 2011 was riding that 450 the last 3 Supercrosses and outdoors. Even though I got hurt, I think it made me a little bit stronger, and good to ride something different. Maybe not ride it all the time, but get on a little more motor, and I think it helps me to throw the lights bike around a little better. But I think we have big expectations for next year with the team and Yamaha. Obviously I want to go out and I want to be a championship contender, and I want to put it on the box like I've done in the past, and the only thing I can do is just work as hard as I can. I'm a hard worker, and man, like I said with Mark, we just started our 5 days a week in the gym with him, and we're gonna try and take it to the next level and really come out swinging. And I think that's the biggest thing, just mentally being there, knowing that it's like my dad told me since I was little, riding in Texas, Village Creek, all those places, and he's always looked at me and told me, you just give it 150%. You don't quit on me. Wherever you end up is where you end up.
Right.
And, that's something I've been good about is, even though I've had injuries and had these minor setbacks, I've always pushed through it and still tried to be there. And, I'm going to hopefully take my training to the next level, even though it's, it's been really good for the last 2 years. Just the off season, we're going to try and hit it a little bit harder and be a little more prepared so that I can come out swinging and do what I really want to do that I, know I'm capable of. So. Yeah,
for sure. Well, I definitely am looking forward to kind of hearing how the off season goes. Now that the Monster Energy Cup is over, you guys can focus on, focus on the Supercross season, the new bikes, the new 2013 bikes, and then you've of course the new team dynamics and stuff like that. But you're from Texas, and we have here in the winter, we have a local off-road series. That's typically what I do mainly is racing, in some of the enduro circuits and the off-road cross-country circuits and things like that. Would there be any chance that you think that something like that would help? Now, I know there's always a possibility of getting hurt, so you're trying to figure out how to practice and train and not get hurt so that you can race, for the upcoming season and things like that. But I have a feeling that there will be a lot of Texas fans that would like to see you out there at something like that. Is there a possibility that we would be able to get you to come out either maybe for a practice on a Saturday or to, maybe even come out and throw a leg over during the pro race on Sunday so you could show those boys, what a throttle twister's really like?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a possibility. It's tough with the testing that goes on out here. I've been, I came to Oak Hill a couple years back and got to hang out and watch some of the amateur racing. And normally I'm home in Texas during the whole summer. It's just, man, normally out here they keep us busy with testing, and I don't get to make it back quite as often as I want to. Right. Obviously, my grandma and my mom are there. My dad's here most of the time with me when I'm out here, but I try and make it back as much as I can. So I can't say there's no possibility. I mean, if I had a good opening in my schedule and could get out there and had a bike out there, that would be cool for sure. I'm hoping that maybe next year. I was kind of late on the ball this year, but I want to make it back and race the Pro Challenge. I haven't been out in a long time. I raced it when I was an amateur, and my last year that I was an amateur. So I haven't been able to make it out for the pro race yet, but I'd really like to. I missed it this year. I was kind of bummed out. Kurt, my dad, said something to me. I'm like, man, if it wasn't so last minute, So hopefully this year goes really good and I can make it back for some of the Texas races. I'd like to come back and, I grew up riding at Village and Oak Hill with Brad Woolsey and Mosier Valley when it was still open, and all those places around there. And that's the cool thing about coming home during the summer is I get to ride with a lot of my friends there and, go out to the local tracks, and I'll hit a Tuesday night session at Village Creek every once in a while and stuff like that. And that's what's fun for me, is just to be able to go back home and have fun with all the guys I grew up with and stuff like that is really a good time. And I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to check out the Master Pool facility, his 956 facility.
I've heard it's awesome, though.
Yeah, I ride out there a lot. Tara and Jerry, they're really good people, and when I come home for the summer, they really take care of me as far as I can call Jerry on a Monday, and he'll have me a 2-minute and 20-second lap time on Tuesday and the same track backwards on Thursday, and then it's different every week. And, man, if you're from Texas and you haven't been out there to ride and you want to go ride something that has a little bit of everything, not huge jumps, just made more technical, turning tabletops, sand rollers, stuff like that. It's a really good facility, and they do a great job out there. So, like I said, hopefully I can get back to one of the local races and come out and ride and have some fun. And, I obviously love coming home. So that's I've been looking to buy a place there. I want to buy a house in Texas so that I can move back to my hometown eventually and hang out and be around my friends and family and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, dude, we're definitely looking forward to having you back, in Texas. If you move down here, that'd be awesome. I think that, or move back here, kind of in more of a permanent residence, if you will, opposed to, just maybe hanging out with your parents for the weekend. But if I think that we should definitely get together when you're in town, though, because we go to the Master Pool facility, like you're saying. I could ride around like the lame little motocrosser that I am, but as well, I could take the camera out. We could do some filming, maybe have a little bit of fun. I'm telling you right now, you would really just stand around, maybe get your chair, maybe a beer after you're done, and laugh as you watch me try to ride around the motocross track. But that's okay. I'm more goofy looking than I am a good rider, so it works out for everybody. I don't know. But one of the things that's neat is that this is the internet. And with the internet, we have all kinds of new things that have been going on the past, however many years it was when Al Gore invented this stuff. But the thing is, this is Seat Time. Seat Time is based on the internet. We're live right now. We're doing this as a live webcast, blogcast, whatever you want to call it. But seattime.co is where you can find all these shenanigans on our website, so seattime.co. If for some strange reason you happen to be a Facebook face stalker, which most of you are, I can imagine, it's facebook.com/seattime. And then as well, if you happen to be a big Twitter person, you can tweet us real hard at twitter.com/seattime_co. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I clicked all that stuff correctly. Now, Kyle Cunningham, I am going to give you the opportunity now to let us know if you have any social media wares, all that kind of stuff, websites and stuff where people can maybe find you on the internet, how they can get in touch with you. Thank you for being who you are. And this is your time to just say some last few words and be awesome about it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I have to thank the team. I signed a 2-year deal last year, and they've been behind me even through the injuries and stuff. So the Star Racing Yamaha team, I've had an ongoing relationship with those people, and really got to give them a thanks, Rockstar. I have a Twitter page. It's KCunningham_19. I need to change the 19 to a 38, obviously.
We'll get Twitter to update that for you.
Yeah, I try and keep it updated, and just kind of let people know what's going on when I'm out here, as far as friends, family, fans. I didn't have a Twitter until like 7 months ago, probably, and then I'm like, man, everyone kept dogging on me, so I had to start one.
Let me guess, Will Hahn was the first one to dog on you, because that boy, that guy tweets so much.
Yeah, no, it was just one of those. My sister made one, her fiance made one, and I'm like sitting there going, they're like, we don't even know what's going on with you. You could like go to the test track, tweet a picture, be like, yeah, this is what's going on today. We'd be happy. So
we want to be in your life.
Yeah, I ended up making one of those. So again, it's KCunningham_19, and keep it updated pretty good. And then I also have a fan page on Facebook. I think it's just Kyle Cunningham Racing. You can just search it through my name, and like I said, we try and keep them updated on races, results, what's going on with the team. Star Valley MX also has a Twitter page as well, and I think it's good for the fans and, like I said, family to keep track of me and see what's going on. And I'm hoping to get some new stuff going. Kuzo, I got the new GoPro. Yeah, the thing's really cool. I wore it last weekend, and I'm looking to start posting some new videos and trying to, kind of put it out there, days at the test track, stuff like that with me and Martin, so people can see it and kind of see what's going on in the off season with us testing and stuff like that. So.
Oh, well, I am really excited to see that. I think that new GoPro looks sick. I really want to try it out. I've been doing actually some testing recently with some different helmet cameras. You're like, oh, it's my GoPro, and it's not. It's so synonymous right now with what a helmet camera is. And they really just keep stepping up the bar, so I'm looking forward to really testing that thing out. You kind of caught me off guard there, but I really like that camera, and I want to test it out. So you might have to mail it to me.
I wore it the first time at Vegas, and it's a little bit thinner and smaller, and I don't know. I like it. I haven't got to see the footage from it yet, but, man, all the stuff like the LED touchscreen and everything that it comes with is I think they really took it to a new level on this one. So it's going to be cool. That's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I kind of made one when I was home in Texas, and I just started riding again. I made a video with my old one, and I actually never ended up posting it, which is kind of a downer because we went through all the trouble of getting it all cleaned up and perfect, put some music in it, everything. But I'm going to try and get back to it, and I think that's something good for me is, you know, a lot of people don't get the opportunity to come out to the Supercross track and see what's going on and stuff like that. So I want to kind of put some of those videos out there so people can keep track and really see what's going on with the team and see what's going on with me kind of in preparation before I show up at A1. So I'm hoping to get that done pretty soon. And yeah, like I said, I might actually end up in Texas racing. I'm going to race lights West Coast, I think, and there's a good possibility I could show up riding some 450 rounds on the East.
Ooh, nice. That sounds awesome. Well, we're definitely going to be at the Dallas Supercross. No one ever thinks that we're worth anything and we can't get media passes, but that's okay. Actually, I have more fun drinking beer watching the races, so it doesn't really matter because I want to do this live on the internet on my own time, having drank a glass of wine out of my Crown Royal glass, and make sure that I always enjoy a pint full of awesome. That is what Seat Time is about. Doesn't mean you have to drink. It just means you have to enjoy life, have fun, and be yourself. So, Kyle Cunningham, we really appreciate you taking the time. I know that you do have a busy schedule. You are a professional motorcycle racer. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to the fans that you take the time out and just kind of tell us about who you are, how your week's been going, and things like that. So I hope that we get to meet, get to hang out, do some filming. You know, we'll move forward. We'll create this little online relationship and just see where it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Awesome, dude.
Thanks for your time.
Oh, hey, man, no worries. My wife doesn't hate me as much as everybody thinks she does. So she lets me have a little bit of a break every now and again, and we call it a good night. But hey, seriously, Seat Time. Always enjoy a pint full of awesome. This has been a great interview. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.